Good morning, good evening, good night, good day, wherever you're watching this transmission. It is I, Mike in the Night, bringing you another very special, important late night transmission. Sit back, relax. You don't have to see my ugly mug. Listen. Get yourself a nice cold lemon water like I got. And let me adjust some of these lights here so it doesn't look so bright. That could be a rap song. Adjust the lights so it don't look bright. Mike Martins, broadcasting from Merritt, British Columbia. The date is the 16th of September, 2018 for most of the world. Western Seaboard time, 9:59 p.m. And it's still the 15th of September. And it's the 16th in, like I said, most of the planets. Mike in the Night tonight. And we got a Houdini edition, escape artist. Houdini was one of the greatest escape artists ever, of all time. Not of our time, because he passed away many years ago. Long story how he died, but interestingly, how he died. Anyways, disappearing middle class. Yeah, I try to call a few of my contacts. And I'm having a tough time getting a hold of anyone tonight. Everyone's out partying. So, other people are stuck watching me, Mike in the Night tonight. Disappearing middle class. So, I got up a dictionary here and to look up the meaning of middle class. And I don't know if you guys are noticing the disappearance of wealth, the evaporation of wealth. We had a bit of a boom during the great housing crisis that's right now falling all around us, completely in decline all around us. Australia, New Zealand, UK, United States, Canada. It's happening, guys. It's a complete collapse around us. I don't even know how to say it without trying to say it as easy as possible. Now, with the great housing boom and the great housing bust, we've created a lot of wealth on debt, created by debt, right? And, oh wait, our comment section is rolling, guys. Don't forget to add us on Skype. Our Skype number is Mike Martins 1980. Ooh, we got Misha Nicholas in the comment section. All right, let's start with the comments. Dang, in the comment section, hit the first like. Sempre Sport Lisboa Benfica said, I just got home from a wedding. It's 1 a.m. in Ontario. How are you, Mike? I'm fantastic. Thanks for asking, guys. Mike in the Night. Dang 008 says, walking journey should be here. Yeah, he should be. Misha Nicholas says, this makes me wonder if neoliberal was structured this way all along. You know, guys, it's very interesting, because where's the middle class going? Without the middle class, the rich won't exist, because they're supporting the pillars. They're supporting pillars of all society. And then there's the dirt poor, or the poor that are finding really hard ways or means to get themselves by, that also depend on the middle class because of their taxable private sector jobs. It's very simple. The middle class disappears. The rich have nowhere to go. That's why everyone's running away to New Zealand and other countries. You know what I'm saying? Anyways, guys, add me to Skype if you want to be on the show. It is Mike Martins 1980. I had, what's her name on here? Working It Out. She was on the show. She downloaded Skype in 3 seconds on her phone and managed to call me immediately and got her on the show. And she's a really good guest to have on the show. I'll see if I could get her on the show later. And what's happening to the middle class in her province of Alberta. It's happening in California. It's happening in Oregon. It's happening all along the West Coast. People have less money. The more you get into the interior, people have a bit of savings. The further east you go out to the other coast, people just don't have money anymore. It's funneling into the middle of the country. Why? is because a lot of middle class Americans are living in urban America, right? Okay. Comments. Oh, Walking Journey is here. Maybe I'll give him a call. Journey, can I call you, bud? I want to know what's happening with the middle class. You were just in California recently. You were everywhere recently. So maybe get you on the show and ask you. I want to know what's happening with the middle class, And someone's Semp SLB says, we had this conversation tonight. Sooner will be either you have money or you don't. Yeah. Oh, no, Walking Journey, I'm just going to call you, buddy. You don't have to call me on Skype, buddy. I'll just call you. I got your phone number. I got you on speed dial, buddy. I got you one-touch dial. Buddy. Let's get Walking Journey on the show. Find out.
Hello?
Hey, Anthony, ¿cómo estás?
What's up, Mike?
Nada. What are you doing?
I was watching you live, man. My wife told me she got the notification, but I did it.
Oh, okay. Dude, what's going on with the middle class? Whoa.
Hello?
Step outside, buddy. Is it raining outside?
No, it's just my kids are here. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. What's going on with the middle class? Why is it disappearing?
Man. Because of illegal immigration, that's why.
Okay. Can you elaborate? What's going on? What happened when you went to California? Lots of tent cities. Tell us what happened.
Man, it's all the taxes. It's the housing, man. It's too expensive.
So you think
too many people.
So you think people are house broke?
You got too many freeloaders, and it's everything, Mike. It's the trade agreements, immigration. Too many freeloaders. It's the socialism. It doesn't work.
Well, everybody wants not everybody. There's a small majority of people that want a socialist society. They want what you have without working for it, Anthony.
And they want the government to take it by force. Because they won't. They're not going to knock on your door and say you have to give me the money. They want the government to do it.
That's right.
And who's gonna oppose that?
Yeah, it's called redistribution of wealth.
And it doesn't work. It just doesn't work.
So where you are in Texas, do you see a lot of panhandlers and a lot of homeless?
Yeah, like if you go down to Harris County, where Houston is, the city of Houston.
Yeah.
It's a liberal Democrat-controlled area. So that's where you start seeing all the same stuff you see in California. Panhandlers, runaway illegal immigration, people on food stamps, high taxes, high rent. It's always the same story.
Yeah.
It's like they do it on purpose.
Yeah, but why would they purposely set someone up for failure? It makes absolute zero sense. Because if you do well, then the state does well. The state does well. The country thrives.
Well, because they don't like the current system. The whole idea is to destroy the system and create this socialist Ethiopia like Venezuela, and it's mostly for votes. They just want these people voting for them. You give them only enough to survive.
Why would you want to vote in failure?
To destroy the country.
But then what's the point of that if you have kids?
Man, it's like the Bible says, Satan has come to lie, destroy, and steal, and kill, man. It's all part of evil, man.
Yeah, no, I feel you on that. So
the best poverty prevention is a job, man.
Yeah. And now, I wanted to ask you, I was reading a few articles. A firefighter in Chicago. I was a paramedic in New York. What was I reading? A helicopter pilots in New Orleans. All working 2-3 jobs and still can't make it.
Well, can I ask you something? These counties and cities, who controls them?
Well, the governing bodies.
No, what party are they? What political party?
Oh, I wasn't looking at that. I was just looking at how many people are suffering, right? How many people have good jobs, have a degree, have the experience they need, and they still can't make it.
Well, all these areas are controlled by Democrats. I'll tell you that right now.
Yeah, no, I hear you. But yeah, I wanted to get your insight on that in your area there, and what's happening in your neck of the woods. When you went out to California, what did you see? Did you see any of that there when you went?
Sure. It's all over the place, man. People panhandling all over the place.
And where did
People paying with food.
Where'd you go in California?
All over the place. I lived in Downey, Norwalk, Long Beach. I was everywhere.
And then you saw panhandling and all the tent cities that we see on YouTube all the time?
Yeah, they're mostly like under the freeway. That's mostly where they stay at, or in the alleys. Sometimes they're just on the corner. They're everywhere. You don't even have to look for them, Mike. When you go to California, the homeless are just everywhere, man. They stay in their cars. The RVs are parked everywhere.
That's interesting. Very interesting. Yeah, because I spoke to a guy. I spoke to a guy that works for a big telecommunications company in downtown Vancouver, and he lives here in Merritt, but he works Monday to Friday in Vancouver, and then Saturday and Sunday he comes home.
Where does he sleep the rest of the week?
In the car. He sleeps in his car, and he sleeps in his car because they have showers in the facility, and the building, the corporation he works for has showers, so he uses the showers, and then goes to work in the morning.
Why doesn't he just take... Hold on, he lives in Merritt, right?
Right, but it's 2.5 hours, right?
Why doesn't he get a job in Merritt?
I don't know, dude. It's just maybe people have been there. He's been like, I think this guy's been in his job, but it's not just him. There's like 15, 20 people that work at that building in his division that do that. 15, 20 people, right?
That's sad, man. Man, I don't know, man. I feel sorry for people like that.
Yep, they have the job. You know, they have the.
I saw a video of a woman that she drives for 1 hour, and I was complaining about my 50-minute commute. Then she parks at a parking lot. What is it? She takes a train, and then the train stops somewhere. And then from there, she got on some van, they carpooled. Mm-hmm. Then the van went somewhere, and then she took a bus.
Yeah. Remember that guy that was going from... I can't remember where he was going. He was going from, like, in the middle of California all the way to San Francisco every day. And it was 2 hours every one side and 2 hours to get home.
You know what? I'm gonna give everybody some advice.
Yeah, man.
If you're watching this and you're going through a 2.5 hour commute, you need to stop, slow down, take a deep breath, analyze your life. You need to sell the house, sell your stuff. I mean, it's not worth it, man. It's just not worth it. You gotta learn how to live outside your means. Maybe you shouldn't live in that house you're living in. Mm-hmm. Maybe you should move somewhere else, to another state. You might have to get a different kind of job.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, you gotta think outside the box. How's somebody gonna commute 2-3 hours inside? What they call them, super commuters now?
Yeah, power commuters.
Something like that. I mean, come on, that's crazy, man.
Yeah, it's a waste of life unless they do what I do and then they set up their laptop on the train or something and go on eBay and just list stuff and sell stuff and go home, pack everything, and you're done. You made money on the train, right?
That's sad, man.
Yeah, but yeah, mass exodus. Are you seeing a lot of Californians coming into Texas right now?
I've seen a couple license plates, but mostly the people that I've seen are for either New Jersey, Illinois, and for some odd reason Oklahoma. I don't know why.
I remember you made a video recently, I don't know, it was maybe 8 weeks ago, that you were very upset about people from California moving into Texas. Why were you so upset?
Yeah, because they hate our lifestyle, they hate our culture, they hate that we have gun rights. They don't want to be here at all, Mike. all those people are a bunch of losers that they come here and call us either rednecks or tejanos, and all they want is the cost of living, but they don't want to change their politics. They want to come in here and vote Democrat and liberal and want us to change. All they want is our cost of living. They don't want nothing else. They want nothing to do with us. They don't want nothing to do with us.
Yeah.
All they come here is complain.
Wow. Yeah, that's what you got pretty upset in your video.
Can you imagine that? They come here and still vote the same shitty party that practically ruined their state, and they come in here and complain, oh, this is a Republican-held state. No wonder. It's like, why are you coming here then? Stay where you are. Stay where you're at then.
Yeah.
They come here, all they want is our cost of living. That's all they want.
Yeah. Yeah. They want more bang for the buck, but they want to change everything around them.
Yes, sir. They want to keep their politics, their liberal ways. They want their Democrat Party to take over.
That's what's happening.
We don't want those people here, man. They're a cancer, man.
Yeah, that's what a lot of other states are saying. Nevada. Do you see how Nevada housing prices are skyrocketing because of all the Californians? 100,000 Californians moved into Nevada in 2017, and they're expecting another 100,000 in 2018 by the end of this year.
Well, the situation with us, I'm going to tell you what it is, Mike. I was just thinking about that today. What happened is they come into a state and don't think they're going to look for a job. I mean, some of them look for a job. But all of them, besides looking for a job, they're expecting food stamps. They want Section 8. They want all the public assistance. In most of these states, they rely heavily on property taxes. So what happens when property taxes start going up because to assist all these people's needs because they feel entitled. So they're very entitled-minded.
Okay, I got it right here. I got it right in front of me. 100,000 Californians moved to Las Vegas with 100,000 more to come according to LasVegasRealEstate.org. So I usually like to quote really good statistics and stuff. And California has lost 138,000 people in 12 months. So...
yeah, they're all... So they come into a state, they start asking for food stamps, they start asking for medical services. So they're a drag to local economies. And what happens? They have to raise property taxes. And that's when you start seeing people's rates go up, property taxes go up, for the same reasons. Like, that's what's going on. They're very entitlement.
Entitlement. Yeah, you said it right. Entitlement. Hold on, I got a question. Sean Bowen said something in the comment section. I want to read it, okay? It says, Mike, we are the most invasive species on the planet, and we all pay to sleep. We are not allowed to grow our own food, a large scale in subdivision, and have wood to heat our solar electric. They want taxes.
Yep. They're blood-sucking monsters. Mike, you know what I saw before the last day I was there? No, the last week I was in California because I went back to go get my kids, my wife. Mm-hmm. They had I lived in Downey off of Scout and Suva Street. Mm-hmm. On the other side of the street, it was Bell Gardens. You can look that up on your computer. Mm-hmm. Well, anyways, on Florence by Garfield, they had barely built a brand new welfare office. Mike, I'm not lying to you. The line was long as a mile. People going to get what they used to call. When I was in California, the people wouldn't say, "Oh, food stamp." They say, "My benefits, my benefits." Go get your benefits. So people were lined up for a whole mile, Mike.
Mm-hmm. I saw that. I saw that also in. It wasn't in L.A. County. I think it was in Alameda County.
Well, I was in L.A. County. There was a brand new welfare office. The line was so long, man, I said, thank God I'm leaving this dump.
Yeah, you know what? No, but I'm saying it's happening in other counties, too, where there's long welfare lineups and lineups for people signing up for EBT cards and Section 8 cards.
Man, they need to get a job. That's what they need to do.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay, man. I'm going to let you go. We've been talking for over 20 minutes. I will continue with my show. Thanks for being my first guest. I really appreciate your insight on what your worldly insight. Guys, don't forget...
hold on. Hold on, Mike. How do you do that Skype thing? You didn't touch too much on it, like...
Oh, just go to Skype.
Like what?
Go to Skype.
Yeah.
Just add me. Just go to the magnifying glass and say add person. Just put Mike Martin's 1980. That's my Skype name.
Mike Martin without the S?
No, with the S. Mike Martin's 1980.
Oh, just S, right? No little apostrophe or anything?
No apostrophe, buddy. Mike Martin's 1980.
Oh, okay.
Add me on Skype, and then we'll talk another time, okay?
Later, Mike.
Take care, brothers. Sleep well.
Bye-bye. You too, bye-bye.
Bye. That is The Walking Journey, guys. Don't forget to check out his channel, Walking Journey. He's close to 5,000 subs. Let's get him over. Oh my God, Working on It is there. Working on It, are you available for a call? Because we want to know, we are talking about the disappearing middle class right now tonight. Disappearing middle class. And let's get this audio here.
Middle class.
Ooh, sounds so sexy.
Middle class. Middle class.
The social group between the upper and working classes, including professional and business workers and their families, related to middle class suburbs. Okay, so brush up on your Working on It. Brush up for the next 2 minutes on what is happening in the middle class sector there in Alberta. Top 10 countries with the largest wealth of middle class in 2015. So these are... Trying to find... My cat is all over me here. And... The world's middle class has a population of 664 million. Guys, do you believe that? 664 million in 2015 with a net worth of $80.7 trillion, accounting for 32% of the global wealth. So what happened to this whole 1% crap? You know what I'm saying? I think the upper like, I mean, there's 1% of the people that have a lot of money, like the upper 1%, and then below that, I think it's about 18% or 20% below that, which puts you into this 664 million, right? So if you go into 6 or 7 billion people in the world, let's say 700 million people now, and that would put you at about 20%. That's what I'm thinking here. That's what I'm gauging. Lowrider Scratcher says Philippines has no middle class. And, Sean Bowen says, Mike, I used to live off-grid on a sailboat at anchor, and the government hated me. They wanted to know my address. I said, besides the big tree, LOL. I gave them a grid reference, GPS. It's PK to bottom countries. Wow, Sean, we gotta have you on the show, buddy. Sean Bowen, add me on Skype, Mike Martin's 1980. I want to have you on the show. Give us some of your experiences. We'd like to know. Okay. So let's go over here. The world's middle class. So the ranking of wealth holding 10 middle class. So Spain, I don't believe it. I was in Spain not too long ago, and no, I don't. But it's okay. Australia, 2.5 trillion. So, guys, is this middle class wealth built off your housing? Canada, 2.7 trillion. You see, all these countries are in the midst of a debt. Home debt is out of control. Home debt is out of control. And in these countries, Italy is out of control, but it has 4.7 trillion. 29 million. 59% of Italian adults are made up of the middle class. Interesting. Germany, maybe Germany, but Germany lost it after the 1970s. France, I don't believe that. There's a lot of problems in France. Look at this. Middle class is 49.2% of adults in France. Maybe? Am I wrong? Could I be wrong? We got to get someone from France in the show that doesn't speak French. United Kingdom, 6.2 trillion. 57.4% of adults in the United Kingdom belong to the middle class. I got a definition of middle class up here to find out who really is. China, $7.3 trillion. 2015 middle class, 109 million. I know in China there was in and around 100 million millionaires. So I don't know, 38 million, ranking first worldwide. And Japan says here, Tokyo, 59.5% of adults in Japan are qualified as middle class. But at what degree? Is it they're borrowing money off their homes? Are they dipping into their equity? Are they in wealth through debt? Is it self-achieved wealth that's been built and prosperous over the last couple of years? Because all I'm reading is horror stories of people working 3 really good jobs and they can't pay their rent. The 10 largest countries, here we go. United States, number 1. 92 million middle class. The United States of America. I would have thought it would have been in and around 70 million. And then, yeah, I would have thought it was in and around 70 million, but it says 92 million here. Adults have a total net worth of $16.8 trillion, accounting for 6.7% of the world wealth. So that's the middle class in so Ben Kuyo says, no, Mike, that's BS. Rent in Japan is very affordable and you can choose where you want to live. No, I'm talking about middle class in Japan. Where was Japan? That was France. I think it was here. Germany. I think it was further ahead. No, Italy. I think it was number 8. China. Oh, we lost Japan. Oh well. There it is, Japan. So it's saying here that 9.7 trillion of the net worth, 59.5% of adults in Japan are qualified as middle class. That's a lot of people, and that's a lot of net worth. But what's it built off? Like, is it actual boomers going into retirement that have actual, you know what I'm saying? And then Low Roller Scratcher says Japan rent is cheap due to deflation problem. You heard that, Mike? Yes. Yeah, Japan still hasn't recovered from one of its major crashes. Slowly deflationary period it's going through right now. So it's in a rebuilding stage, which is progressing. It's falling into debt a lot more faster than it should. Japan signed on or created a military, which they haven't since World War II, and now they're building a military. Japan did very well without a military since World War II, so they don't need a military, but they're signing on military, they're buying weapons and arms from America, and it's turning into a nightmare. Okay. Okay. So, Ben Kuyo says the average family can afford a place to live even if they buy. No crazy loans. Yeah, because the Japanese they don't believe in debt. Like me. Me in my culture, like in the Portuguese culture, a lot of us, my parents, we never carried debt. We had a mortgage, we paid that off in 5 years. You don't play games. When I bought my house, I made sure I had the money to cover the whole house. Because no one looks out for you but yourself, right? And no one looks out for you and your family but yourself. You know what I'm saying? Anyways, guys, Mike in the night. Happy Saturday night and Sunday morning and Sunday afternoon to everyone all over the world. It is 10:27 p.m. Western Seaboard time, LA County time, Vancouver time. It is the 15th of September 2018. And it is the 16th of September in most of the world. I want to thank everyone for joining me. It's Mike in the night. And broadcasting out of Merritt, British Columbia. And what are we covering today, guys? We are covering the mystery, the escape artist, Houdini. Well, Houdini was a great escape artist. Somebody's calling me, guys, on Skype. Hello? Somebody's calling me, guys, on Skype. Hello?
Hey!
Oh, hey, what's up?
I just wanted to from
You're breaking up really bad.
Oh, fuck, this new apartment. Yeah, I just tuned into the end of Anthony talking.
Yeah?
Walking Journey.
Oh, who is this?
And this is working on Rhoda.
Oh my god! You changed your profile picture on Skype.
I think I did,
Yeah, I didn't recognize it. There's just some lady there looking like she's there, but she's
Jersey Shore lady.
Yeah, I wasn't sure who it was. Okay, now
Yeah.
I can hear you clearly. Okay,
I'll keep it
let me just close my door here 1 sec.
Okay.
Okay, so tell me, you've heard me read off this middle class little thing here. Do you believe that there's that much middle class in the world?
I don't know how to define class.
Oh, hold on, you're breaking up really bad. Message me your phone number on Skype and I'll just call you back, okay? Because you're breaking up really bad.
Okay.
Yeah, I could barely hear you. Message me your phone number on Skype, I'll call you. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, bye. You know what, guys? It could be me. It actually could be me, guys, because I'm having weak Wi-Fi signal. And I think I'm having weak Wi-Fi signal. It's because I'm right beside the damn Wi-Fi. Ooh. I don't know why. I don't know why. When you need something to work, it never does. It just, I guess it's Murphy's Law. Let me see if I could call this number. It's not letting me cut and paste. There it is. Copy. All right, let's call her. She was a hit on the show the other day. A lot of people liked her. And this is working on it from Alberta. She's got a really good insight on what's happening there in her province. And what's happening in her province is pretty much happening all over the known English-speaking world. So let's find out.
Hey.
I can hear you perfectly. There you go.
Cool.
Yes. You know what? I'm going to be very frank with you. I think my Wi-Fi, it says it was getting low signal. And my phone is exactly 3 feet away from the Wi-Fi box.
Interesting.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Maybe too much interference from my brain.
Yeah. You're overthinking.
Yes. So,
about the middle class disappearing here in Canada, I think we overextend ourselves. Without this recession we're going through, even in good times, a lot of people have student loans. So that helps but makes the middle class disappear. You understand what I mean?
I know what you mean, but here's the deal.
Yeah.
Is this middle class that they're talking about here and they're boasting about on these articles here? I have another article here. Are these people the ones dipping into their housing?
Dipping into the housing, like living off their house?
Equity, using their equity in their homes as lines of credit.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So
yeah,
how much? Yeah, that's what I'm concerned about. You know.
Yeah, but they're not gonna really look into every individual person and see, oh, are you financially sound or you're not sound? They're gonna say, oh, you have a house, you have a job, you're middle class.
I see what you're saying.
Yeah. They don't really go into like specifics, like, oh, you're living off the equity of your house and you're only eating on your credit cards. They're not gonna look into that. It's like, oh, you have a house, you have a car, you have a wife, you're married, you have 2 kids, you're middle class.
But then,
and if you live in this zip code, then you're upper class. That's it.
But then, at what cost?
At all cost, because everyone is about keeping up with the Joneses, especially in Calgary. I was reading some articles about Calgary. They always buy houses. The people there seem to live way lavishly. Like, doesn't sound proper, but they seem to live above their means when the oil was good.
Yes.
Like regular people, like laborers, are buying houses that they had no business buying. Like, you could have bought a cheaper house, but it was like, oh, I work for this union, so I want to live in this house. You make $120,000, $140,000, and you need to have a $600,000 house. Why?
That's the thing. Yeah.
You could have bought a nice house for $400,000, which is still overpriced, but you could have lived okay there and not been drowning in debt. You would have, So.
Well, how's about they could have been? How's about saying they could have still been living there today and not lose everything?
Well, that's kind of iffy because a lot of people are jobless in Calgary, in Edmonton too. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Maybe they could have still lived there. They would have lived there longer. Let's say longer, but you're right. Yeah, but so the middle class, what's it called? Calculations. I don't think people look into it in detail because a lot of the people we call wealthy are living off their houses too. The equity of their house.
You know what I think is middle class?
What?
I think if you own your house free and clear and you have no debt.
That's not. They're never going to calculate that.
No, but I'm thinking that's what I think middle class, in my opinion, is. What do you think it is?
I would say 6 months savings and like a 15-year mortgage.
Okay, that's a good way to look at it. Yeah, okay.
I watch Dave Ramsey, and I like him, but I don't really like him, but I still love him. I love him more than Susie Orman. He pushes a lot of 15-year mortgages, pay off your car loan, drive the car until it can't drive anymore, those types of like common sense types of things. But everyone's like, finance your car for 5 to 7 years. You make $90,000. You need to have this. You need to have that. Like all this shit that people don't really need. So, but your middle class is kind of like, people will call that wealthy.
Okay. So your point of view is very interesting. So you said 6 months of savings and a 15-year mortgage. Yeah,
15-year mortgage, 6 months savings, and no student loan debt. So no student loan debt and no credit card debt.
Okay,
that would never happen. That's just going to be rare.
Yeah, I find that's an excellent point of view. But okay, okay. I'm thinking in my point, because I'm a lot older than you, so
yes.
I'm thinking for me, someone at my age, if they have no debt, I think they're ahead.
Yes,
because everything.
Actually, you're about 40, right?
I am 40.
Okay, so I had a professor a couple semesters ago. I think he's 45, and he told us an interesting story. So he's a lawyer. And he has got a PhD in economics.
Right.
And he was teaching us a macroeconomics class. And everyone was saying, oh, I want to get a degree in economics, or I want to get a master's in economics. And this one guy says, I'm 22. I want to leave, I think he was saying landscaping, and I want to get a PhD in economics and work for the Federal Reserve or one of those top stupid banks we have here. And the teacher says, you know what? Listen, son. And he was talking to everyone, but he wanted him to hear it specifically. He has friends who are plumbers, and he's got a neighbor who's a heating and ventilation technician here in Edmonton.
Yeah.
And they're all like 40, 45. He is still paying for his law degree and his PhD in economics. My professor.
Okay.
Right? Okay. He's got a wife. He has 4 kids. His wife doesn't work. So he's like, okay, well, in total, from being a professor and being a lawyer, I gross $150,000.
Okay.
Right? And everyone's like, oh, wow, that's great. Yeah. And he's like, yeah, you know what my student loan payments are every month? Like $1,000.
Okay.
And his son is 16 years old, so he is barely going to be able to pay. Well, he's going to be able to pay for his college education somewhat, maybe for the first 2 years. And his counterparts that he knew growing up, and then the neighbor who's a heating and ventilation technician, 42 years old, no student loan debt, makes $150,000 to $200,000 a year, like no debt. He's paid over $150,000 in student loans, and his counterparts in the trades paid nothing.
And they're ahead of him. They're ahead of him. You know why? Because anything you make becomes disposable after your overhead.
Yeah. Yeah, so it's all it just depends. Like if you can become a lawyer and a PhD in what's it called? PhD in economics, free and clear, which is going to be hard to do unless you have wealthy parents or dead grandparents who just inherited money and you're just a brain. Then so he encouraged us not to get our master's degrees.
Right.
He said, just get your diploma, see if you can find a job. You can't find a job, go work. And then I asked him, do you think I should get a degree? He's like, no. You're going to rack up more student loan debt, and the economy will be better, but your loan will double. He's like, right now, like he encourages not to do that and go find work or trade. And this was in the macroeconomics class.
Okay. So
but about he is not anywhere near the net worth of his friend who's a plumber or the heating and ventilation technician because of student loan debt and so that's a big one. So and he also said he's taking money out of his house to pay bills.
Yeah. Oh yeah, he's taking equity out of the house. Yeah. And he's
a lawyer and a professor.
Okay, how many jobs do you work right now? Just 1, 2?
Well, okay. Temp agency and waitressing, so 2.
Okay, and you said you
actually 3, and I also clean houses.
And you clean houses.
Yeah, so.
Are you finding it, are you kind of coasting right now along?
I'm coasting. Like, I'm on my own, and I'm coasting. And I have friends who are, married with kids, and I don't know how they're doing it. I think one of them is living on her house, and the other one has a debt solvency thing. So she sold her house on a loss, is in debt, and she has 2 kids. Her husband's a pipe fitter. His work went very slow for the last couple years. So for me, I'm just like, I'm like struggling, but then I can eat out once a week. Mm-hmm. You know, it's just I'm kind of more pissed off that I have a diploma in finance. I can't use it, and I want to get into the trades now, but all the tradesmen are out of work, right? Mm-hmm. So there's only a couple of trades that I can actually work at that suits me, and that's driving, which is a class 1 driver, and which incidentally is the driving course that Anthony took, right? Class A, but it works differently here. We don't need 2 years of training here. Oh,
okay.
Here to get a class 1. So I'm looking at I'm registered for a class 1 truck driving course in April. Mm-hmm. And I've talked to many employers because I have friends who are fix trucks. Mm-hmm. And that's a potential job for me. So that's kind of will help me elevate my income. So that's possible $70,000 a year as a truck driver. Mm-hmm. And but it's still 3 jobs, and I'm just like surviving.
So, all right. In your thought of put on a thinking cap. You're gonna help me go through this article. What do you think is the number 1 country right now with the percentage of middle class? So they have 2 percentages from 1981 to 2010. Which country ranks with the biggest middle class of its population in the world?
I would think the USA.
Number 1? You think so?
Yeah.
It's actually Denmark.
Oh wow.
80%. 80% in 1991 and 80% in 2010.
What are they doing right?
You know what? It's a different it's just a different setup, the country. Number 2. What do you think number 2 is? I'll give you a clue. It's close. It's close to Denmark.
Well, I'm watching it, so Finland.
Oh, what you're watching?
Yeah.
Finland.
You know what? It could be they have smaller military.
Yes, that's true.
Than the U.S.
Yes.
Because the U.S. is everywhere. And if they put the less battleships and more into Detroit and Chicago, maybe people will be reading more. I don't know. Finland. I don't know, but those people. What I noticed from those people, Denmark, Finland, they don't seem to be rushing to immigrate anywhere.
Yeah, they stay in their countries. They kind of like enjoy their countries. They're not in a rush to get out, right?
Yeah.
Number 3.
Yeah. Uh huh.
You know it because you could see it, right?
Yeah, I see France, and that's fucking crazy. Pardon my French.
Yeah, sorry. So yeah, so France.
Pardonnez mon français.
I don't speak any French. I speak Spanish and Portuguese. So
Je parle français. Je viens de Montréal.
you speak French?
Oui, je viens de Montréal, l'ouest de l'île de Montréal.
Oh my God! So if I ever need someone with French, I'll call you.
Bien sûr. Elle habla un poco de español.
Yeah.
Soy appris en escuela español.
Oh,
They forced me to take Spanish, and they kicked me out of the French because I spoke better French than the teacher. But as for France, I think most of them are working class poor. I don't know how they put them as middle class. I think that's a lie.
74% is middle class, according to this.
I don't know how they're putting middle class. How they're defining middle class for.
That's the question.
Are they making a different what's it called?
Structure?
Rules for different countries?
I think it's just one binary structure framework that they go by.
That's weird because the French are always dying to get out of France and marry an American or a Canadian.
Yeah.
So
you're
I don't
right.
know about that.
You're right about that. Okay, Germany, number 4.
I can believe that, but a lot of Germans. I've met so many Germans in Montreal and Edmonton and Calgary, so I don't really.
78% of middle class is 78% in 1991 and 72% middle class in 2010. So they've held to their middle class. It's around 72 points. Number 5, Ireland.
That's a lie.
Hold on.
That's a lie.
69% are middle class.
That's a lie. You know that's a lie.
Yeah, I know.
You know, I don't know. This person's probably very liberal. I don't know what this person's. These people are crazy. Ireland is probably 69% poor.
Poverty, yeah.
Yep, poverty. 69% poverty.
Number 6, Italy.
Oh, you know what? What they call middle class, having a house, doesn't mean you own the house. Just maybe the government owns the house because it probably does.
Well, you know what?
Yeah.
In these countries, there's lots of old money, right?
In Italy, yeah, in Ireland, yeah, but I'm just saying, like, it's poor. And Italy, do you know they have a lot of women? I think I read something about single moms in Italy, but a lot of women stopped having kids because everyone is on welfare. I read an article like that, or was it a YouTube video? But no, the jobs there are terrible, and how could 69% be middle class? That's that's a lot. That's outrageous. No.
Yeah, that's what it's saying here. Let's move on. Luxembourg, yes, I can see Luxembourg.
Okay, yeah, I would say yes.
Yeah, Luxembourg, 75%.
You know what, though? Luxembourg, they protect their borders. I don't see a lot of vast immigration there.
No, obviously, no. And Netherlands?
I wish I could visit Luxembourg. Netherlands, I don't know about them.
So 76%, 79, 2010. Norway?
Yeah, Norway, because I know President Trump mentioned them. We need more people from Norway. Yeah. They fit in with us.
80%. Yeah,
I betcha. Because not a lot of people are leaving Norway for Canada or something. But a lot of people are from Germany and Italy and Ireland left there to come to Canada.
Yeah.
So Spain shouldn't be on the list. That's a joke.
And then you have, Spain.
Oh my God.
64% is middle class. Then the UK, 67 points.
That's a lie. Who made this article? You need to find a different article.
No, I got a few of them I'm going to go through here. Number 12,
is propaganda.
The United States of America, 62.
No, United States of America needs to be above Ireland. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's 62% of its population in 1991, and in 2010, 59%.
Yeah, we need to be above Ireland, for fuck's sakes.
Yeah.
No.
And then China's 13.
I don't know about China. To me, there's a lot of poor Chinese people.
Hold on. Stop.
China is lying.
Stop. Don't talk. Listen to this. Are you ready for this?
Yep.
Percentage of middle class in 2000, 4%. Percentage of middle class in 2012, 68%.
What did they do?
We sold them all our jobs.
Which is clothing and Nike and
Ford, GM, everything.
Oh, why did we do that, by the way?
Because cheap labor.
Oh, so we can't really be mad anymore.
So 2000, the year 2000, 4%, and then 2012, 68%.
So we can't be mad about bringing jobs home.
No, of course not. Well, that's what they want to brainwash people, right? Number 14, Russia. I believe Russia. Because Russia is a really tough country to live, because the elements and the cold weather and stuff. It's a really tough country to live if you don't have proper shelter, proper clothing.
Yeah.
So, you know what I'm saying? So, percentage of middle class in 2001, 28%, and percentage of middle class in 2011, 37%.
Wow.
So, I believe that. I believe Russia.
Yeah.
Because those
this
are
is why
more...
everyone has a Russian bride. They have Russian bride websites.
Yeah, Russian bride websites are very popular right now. With the dating scene is a very big lucrative business, you know.
Oh yeah, them and Cubans.
Yeah.
Because Cuba always likes to tell everyone they're doing great when they're not.
Okay, now I got a real article here called Movers.
Okay.
World Bank, U.S. partner strategy, the best countries of ranking, global market communications and all that stuff.
Okay.
And
Totally.
Okay.
United Arab Emirates.
Yep, their GDP is 348 billion, population 9.3 million, per capita 68,000 per capita. That's actually not bad. You know, population wise, it's good.
That's great. Yeah.
And then you got India number 2.
For what?
For
business?
Yeah, for business.
India. Well,
hold on. Take a step back. It's an emerging market. Let's say you bring the cell phone there, or you bring electricity to a small village, you become the king of the town.
That's right.
You know, so bringing running water to certain places that don't have it, you become the king of the world, right? So
yeah.
So you don't have to go that far into technology with India. You just have to make everybody comfortable, right?
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. If you give them onions, they're okay.
2.3 trillion GDP, population 1.3 billion, and GDP per capita 6,694. And
wow, that's nothing.
Number 3 is Singapore.
Yeah, I believe that.
Yeah, 297 billion is their GDP, population 5.6 million, and GDP per capita 87,832.
Yeah, that's right.
China, 11.2 trillion GDP, population 1.4 billion, GDP per capita 15,395. That's not bad with 1.4 billion people.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
With 1.4
they're doing better than India.
Billion, yeah. And then, last but not least, Japan, 4.9 trillion GDP, population 127 million, GDP per capita 41,220.
What's going on with Japan?
Well, it's going through some small deflationary period since their crash, but they've I don't know. Japan is, you know, to me, it's always been that isolated country for so many years.
Yeah.
It's kind of it's intriguing. I like that, you know. And they only accepted Portuguese people for the longest time. Until they brought in Christianity and they basically cut their heads off.
Okay, so why did they bring in only
They only dealt with the Portuguese for hundreds of years, and then they started dealing with the Dutch because the Portuguese betrayed them by bringing in Christianity.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So, guys, watching the show, guys, I want to recommend a movie for everyone to watch, please. You too, working on it.
Yeah.
It's called Silence. That's it. It's Martin Scorsese's movie. I think it's from 2016 or 2017. Okay. It's a very good movie. I got Bang Yu from Japan. Just wrote it in the comment section. Silence. What did you think of I'm going to call him. Can I call you on Skype after I'm done with working on it? After we're done with her, maybe I'll get him on the next. Bang Ku. Yeah. Yeah.
Does 60,000 a year make you middle class or wealthy? Well, the planet is too big for you to really define that. 60,000 a year in Edmonton, you're middle class. But if you're alone, you're middle class. You have a kid, you have a family, you're poor.
Yeah. You have dependents, you're finished.
Yep.
Okay, ready, listen to this. The world is on the brink of a historic milestone by 2020. More than half of the world's population will be middle class, according to Brooks Institution scholar Homi Karas. So by 2020, do you believe that more than half the world's population will be middle class?
I think their definition of middle class is skewed and, pardon my French, fucked.
Okay.
Yeah. Like we said, we're not middle class.
Try and keep it PG. Try and keep it PG because we have a lot of young people.
Okay. Well, sorry. Most of their views of middle class is wrong.
Yeah.
It's wrong.
Mm-hmm.
They're talking about people who have a house, who have income, but they don't see what the income is going to. Right?
Mm-hmm.
If you make 60,000 a year and half your money goes, not half. In Quebec, I think about 40% of your money would go to taxes.
Mm-hmm.
And you have student loans, and you have a wife and kids, and this and that. You're poor. You can get subsidies.
So I think this is what I think. By 2020, I think 18% of the world's population will be middle class.
Okay.
I think 18%, not 50%.
Yeah, but middle class to them is not even equal to us. Because we're including places like India and Africa and those countries in continent of Africa, or it's just they're not. No, like if we're including regular people we know are living on debt.
Yeah.
Most people in North America, Australia, the UK, New Zealand, they're living on debt. So they're never going to go hungry. Always qualify for more loans, so they're middle class.
Okay. Let's move on.
Yeah.
Let's move on to the next one.
Yeah. I wish they would teach more financial literacy in school. Like,
they don't. Nope. They don't want to do that.
We don't need to be doing so much gender talking.
Yeah, I know.
Balance the books.
That's a bunch of garbage. What I'm saying is they won't teach you how to use what do you call it? Cash register. They won't teach you how to open your own business. They won't teach you how to market and get your name out there. They won't teach you anything. They just want you to learn the basic algebras and stuff that you will never use for the rest of your life.
Yeah, they want you to be a city employee. They always tell people in school, even in business school, work for someone for 5 years before you start your own business. It's like, why? You can start something on your own right away. And they won't tell you how to balance your books. They won't tell you, actually, still right now, I know people with kids in high school, everyone is geared towards college for some reason. They won't tell you that you can have a life and you're actually better off without debt than you are in debt. They think that, if you're sitting in an office somewhere, you're going to do better than somebody picking up the garbage, or someone right now at the grocery store working full time is doing better than me because they don't have student loans.
Yeah, because they're because they have disposable income, right?
Yeah. I don't know. They won't tell you all that. They want to tell you some nonsense, some political stuff. We have too much political nonsense, like garbage in school right now. They need to be telling you, how to balance multiple jobs without losing your mind. Oh my God.
Yeah. So a lot of people are working 3-4 jobs. And it's really scary. I spoke to a ambulance driver.
Yeah.
Whoa, what is that?
Sorry.
That sounds so cool.
Notification. Yeah, I have funny notifications.
Okay. No, I was talking to a ambulance driver in where was he? Was he in New York? No, Chicago. Okay, and he works as an ambulance driver and he works nights at 7-Eleven.
Yeah.
Okay. Then I spoke to a firefighter from, I think, where he's New Orleans or wherever he was, and he emailed me and said he works as a firefighter full time. So he does 60 hours a week because he has to stay in house, and he does and he works as a coach at one of the high schools. He gets paid for it, and he also works at a car wash.
Wow. Yeah. And
Yeah.
he's probably making, what, $50,000 total?
Yeah, probably.
In New Orleans?
Yeah, probably, yeah.
That's a lot of work. That's
Yeah.
exactly what I'm doing. I think it's my generation who does that, but I think actually all the generations are doing that right now.
Yeah, it's sad because what keeps me up in a cold sweat at night is to see how many elderly people are going into retirement or into the retirement years, and they still have a mortgage.
Yeah. Yeah, and actually I saw this CBC or national, some kind of a documentary where this woman was 62 years old, and she's still paying, the debt collectors are calling her for her two kids' student loans.
Wow.
Yep, she's 62. She's got something like 100,000 in student loans. Some guy, was it CBC? I'm pretty sure they were Canadian, but he went to film school. Another kid went to some kind of liberal arts school. 100,000 in student loans because it accumulates what's called interest.
Of course.
So she's 62. She's not going to be able to retire, but she said she doesn't know, but she's not going to be able to retire. So actually, when they say retire, I don't even know what it means anymore because everyone has to have a hustle.
It is.
Even the older people, like when I take Uber, it's an older person driving.
Okay.
Because, nobody's really, I don't know, I can't say nobody, but most people, like retiring, unless you mean, you have enough money that you don't need to work anymore, I don't know, but there's not many of those people around anymore. You get what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. It's heartbreaking, and it's a challenge.
Yeah. Yeah, I see people at Walmart, older people, who have to be there. Like, I go into Walmart enough that I can talk to a couple of ladies and a couple of gentlemen. They're like, yes, it keeps me busy, but I do need the income. And 69 and 72, she needs the income.
Wow.
To eat.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yep.
It's true.
Yep.
I believe you. I believe you. And where is the middle class going? Anyways, guys... It is 11 p.m. Western Seaboard time. I want to thank everyone for joining us. I got working on it on the show. We just passed hour 1. And today's show is the Houdini mystery of the master of mystery. Harry Houdini was a master of escaping, disappearing. And today's show is all about the disappearing middle class. Where is it going? And we already spoke to Walking Journey in our first quarter of the hour, and he was giving us a bit of insight on California and Texas. And now, in the second part of the first hour, we have Working on It. Long time
in Alberta, our jobs are gone. That's why. So.
And she's giving us an insight on what is happening. Canada lost. You brought this up the other day with me. 50,000 job, and you believe that 10,000 of those jobs were good-paying middle class. Not middle class, good-paying private class jobs.
Yes. I read that on an article, and it said something about 80,000 jobs from Ontario. Mm-hmm. So that's a big cut. Like, it hurts everyone. When they don't have money, obviously they're not coming in to tip me at all. So it's a big hurtful. What actually I don't get, which is again political. I know you're not supposed to get too political, but we bought what was the pipeline? $4.5 billion,
mm-hmm.
and now we voted to stop it, or some judge stopped it.
But we need pipelines.
I know, but this is just the funny thing. The federal government buys the pipeline and then votes to stop it. Or is it Bill 639? Or first it was a judge, and I was just reading about Bill 6. What's that bill I was just reading about? A bill that stops the pipeline. So I don't understand what government buys the pipeline and tries to stop itself from building the pipeline.
Well, the liberal government, of course.
But it doesn't. I know it doesn't make sense, but what are they planning to put instead of it?
No, we're not moving oil on rails and then the train derails and blows up a small town. No, we need pipelines. People, we need pipelines. You know why? Because once you get this pipeline built, you could service and take less load off the other pipelines.
Yeah, but it just, I don't know what the liberal government is thinking, and who are they trying to please? And the people who they're trying to please, I want to know what jobs they have.
Yeah, I want to know what they do. Yeah.
Yeah, what is the alternative? Those people who stopped the pipeline, that ban in BC, what's the alternative for people to be working on? What's the clean energy? This energy? I don't even know what the hell clean energy means. Like, it's just so frustrating. So in the meantime, if you can't have a pipeline, what are you supposed to do?
Yeah, what you need pipelines. People don't understand how many thousands of pipelines we already have going through the country. They don't understand.
Yeah.
They don't understand. You need more pipe. You need to lay pipe because you need to service the other pipe and maintain the older pipes and then get them back online. But people don't understand that.
I think they understand, and those people are waiting for a bigger check. And the tree huggers are just silly people who are anti-oil. I don't even understand them. I've seen people who are anti-oil here in Edmonton, which is really weird.
Like
yeah.
Those delusional looking people?
Like, they're just what's it called? Theoretical. Yeah, they're not delusional. They're like, I'm so smart, I shouldn't have to work in oil. Like, well, weird people. Like, those just degrees of nonsense and telling people you don't need to be working in oil, this and that. Like, we don't need a pipeline. We need other forms of energy. So in the meantime, we just need to increase child tax benefits. Like, I just get a kick at that. If you're increasing the benefits, what about work? You can't put, what's it called, the horse before
the buggy,
the cart.
The cart before the horse. Yeah.
Okay, the cart before the horse. Mm-hmm. You got the horse has to drag the cart. So it's like you're giving increased tax benefits and you gave a whole bunch of goodies. But somebody has to work for you to tax that person and get the goodies. You own the pipeline. I don't know why he bought the pipeline. Doesn't make sense to buy the pipeline. Personally, I don't know what accountant told him it was a good idea to buy the pipeline.
But the idea, the pipeline is a good idea in all sense.
Oh yeah, but why buy it?
It's the veins.
You bought it at a huge profit. Those people, they made like a $2.3 billion. I read 604% profit.
Oh, that's huge.
Yeah, why did we buy it?
I don't know. I guess they bought it to shut it down, to show the world how Canada stands up for its nature.
And not its people.
That's correct.
Not its people, nature.
Mm-hmm.
This guy, you know what? I don't want to get too political. This is the last thing I'm going to say. I think he's going to win again. Because there's enough delusional people out there who's going to vote for him.
You talking about Trudeau?
Yeah.
You honestly think he's going to win again?
I think he's going to win again, and I think Trump is going to win again. That's my prediction.
I think
there's enough idiots here that they're going to vote for him.
Okay, because Trump is going to win again because he's actually bringing back jobs to America, right?
Yes.
And he's actually looking out for his people, and he's...
Exactly.
And you know why he won? A lot of people don't understand this, and can I tell you why he won the Latino vote?
Well, because he puts them to work.
Well, he won the Latino vote because the legal Latinos that went through the books and got legalized and did everything by the book are losing their jobs to illegals that are getting paid in cash for half the price.
Exactly.
And that's why he won the Latino vote. Do you know why he won the black vote?
Because a lot of the illegals were taking jobs from black people. I used to live in the States. I lived in Connecticut for 5 years. Mm-hmm. So a lot of the illegals were taking jobs from black people. And they used to say that, Americans didn't want those jobs. Well, probably because you're paying $10 an hour instead of $20 an hour.
Yeah. Then why would you want to do a specialty job? Like let's say there's a guy working as a cement finisher. And and he's a good cement finisher, right?
Yeah.
And then some illegal comes in and does it for $5 an hour, and then the cement finisher's like, I should be getting $20-$30 an hour. Why would I do it for $5? Right?
Exactly.
So yeah.
Exactly. That's why he won. He didn't win the majority of the black vote, but he won way more than the other presidents did. So, and they don't want to tell you this on our news, the Canadian news, because they want to tell you how terrible things are. And I don't know. I had a friend argue this with me. She's like, no, you can't trust the you can't trust the American news, you can't trust the CBC, you should trust the BBC. I'm like, why? She's like, well, the BBC, Europe is way better with black people, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, well, I'm just telling you that the U.S. is doing way better than Canada. She's like, oh, no, the black people there are suffering. I'm like, no, they have all of our jobs right now.
Yeah.
So, but she's just trying to see race. I'm like, no, girl, this is how it is. The jobs are over there. But I don't know. She has this bias towards the liberal people. Mm-hmm. So she sometimes you just can't talk to someone, even though she's been struggling to find a job for a year in her field. So
I just wish people really woke up and understood what was really going on. And that thing I read to you that blew your socks off was the medium or middle class in China was like 2% and then went up to 63% in a matter of 10 years.
That's insane.
And that's and you know what? I believe that part of the article. You know why? Because we lost everything to China. We lost everything. Drywall companies. We lost cement companies. We lost brick companies. We lost everything. We used to export our water there and buy it back from China rebottled.
Wow.
Yeah. So, I mean, everything. From plastic bags to tires to now Firestone and a couple other companies are booming in the U.S. right now, even though auto sales are down. But people are buying local made tires now. People are buying local made solar panels now. People are buying local. You know, at the turn of the century, the turn of the 20th century, did you know that 1 out of 3 things in the world was made in America?
Wow. Those were the good old days.
Yep, that's when there was a booming industry, right?
Yes. And as for the TN visa, I really, really hope it does go through. If not, I know my parents have a green card, so hopefully I'm hoping they apply for me because I seriously want to move to Texas, and because that's where all the jobs are. But yeah, actually, there's nothing made in Canada. I don't think we care.
Yeah,
I don't think Canadians care.
Yeah, I think I don't see a lot of things made in Canada. Like my store, my board games and my imported stuff. All my Gundams, and all those models come from Japan. A majority of my board games are made in America, Sweden, Czech Republic, Spain, Portugal. I have stuff made in Russia. I don't have too many things in my store made in China.
Probably nothing made in China from a game store.
Yeah.
But I would say we export nothing, huh? But maybe maple syrup? Maybe?
I think maple syrup, salmon. I think we export oil big time.
Okay, that's all we can. Isn't that crazy? That's all we do, and we cut ourselves down.
Yeah.
That's all we do. We do nothing but export oil, and
we screw
that up.
We I think we export iron, and I think we export uranium too.
Iron.
Yeah.
Oh,
I
don't understand why our biggest export is being cut. It's so crazy. And you know what I was reading? The U.S. doesn't need Canada that bad. We need Canada bad way more. The U.S. bad way more than they need us.
Well, remember, America is one of the biggest oil-producing countries in the world.
Yes.
A lot of people.
But for about the trade deal or whatever, we need them more than we need us. And I just wish that we would understand. I think we understand that, but the government is acting like we're our own planet. We send 76% of our exports to the United States. They send while the United States, they send just 18%. So let's face it, Canada needs American market more than they need Canadian market.
That's correct. Or Canada needs to create more jobs.
Yeah, but I don't know. The jobs are in the oil field. And we just cut ourselves. I don't even know.
Hold on. Hold back. Let me tell you what I've been fishing through the trends in the oil market. Let me tell you what I've been fishing.
Okay.
Guys, pay attention. I have a feeling there's a lot of tension between Iran and Saudi Arabia. Tensions are going up. I believe that Saudis are with the amount of sanctions on Iran, I don't think it's starting to cripple them in a way. Oil production in Iran doesn't. I just see I see a perfect storm happening with oil in the next 3 to 5 months. And I'm putting my money where my mouth is, and I'm putting a little bit of money in some oil stocks because I believe there's going to be a huge turn. I think oil's right now at $70 a barrel. Is that right? I think it's at $70 a barrel right now. So I believe in the next 6 months, oil might just hit anywhere from 85 to 100 a barrel in the next 6 months. I think we're going to have huge oil wars, especially with Canada not making headway with NAFTA with the United States, with the amount of sanctions on Iran. Saudi Arabia's out of control war with Yemen. I see a lot of things, and Qatar isolating itself from the rest of the world. I see a lot of things that are going on, guys, with oil. I think the oil market's going to somewhat rally, and I think Canada is going to start seeing a little bit of wealth in some of the oil-rich provinces in the next 6 months. That's what I'm predicting. Right now, we're sitting at $70 a barrel. I'm seeing 85 to 100 in 6 months. Don't take my word on it, guys.
Wait. You think that because Saudi and the Middle East are having a war that our jobs are going to come back up?
No, the price of price of oil would just go up. That's plain and simple. Because
they're going to stop flooding the market?
Well, I think it's not flooding the market. I think there's going to be a lot of tariffs. And the amount of tariffs and sanctions all over the world is starting to create a ripple effect all over the world. And I have a feeling it's going to upset oil a lot. I have a feeling that interest rates are going to go up. And I have a feeling that gold's going to go down.
Okay.
So in the next 6 months, watch what happens by March, and then let me know if I was right. Oil is going to go up, interest rates are going to go up, and gold's going to go down. And housing is going to collapse completely.
Oh, well, yeah. That's housing's going to collapse, meaning that it'll go down in price?
Oh, housing's going to crash. The price of housing is going to crash big time. You're going to start finding rentals on the market for like half the price.
I can't wait.
It will happen. But the thing is, I think there's going to be a huge upset in the oil markets as we speak. I'm not kidding you. I really believe it. I wouldn't say it if I didn't think it was true.
Okay, well, so if housing crashes, the price will go down and jobs will go up?
Well, what's going to happen is there's a real estate crash going on worldwide right now as we speak. Interest rates are going to go up. And that's going to trigger the price of gold to go down. And then with all the volatility in the oil markets, I honestly see oil going up, and then the oil will create more. Obviously, Alberta would become more of a rich province.
Yes.
That's how I'm forecasting it.
Okay.
You know, I wouldn't say it if I don't believe it.
Okay, so long as there's jobs back, that's what matters.
Well, yeah, if oil hits anywhere 85 to $100 a barrel, Alberta will be slightly profiting off a barrel, so they could raise their export levels.
Yeah.
And then they could hire more.
That would be awesome. My friend who has been in the oil field for years, he says it'll be 3 to 5 years before it gets back to normal.
No, well, yeah, 3 to 5 years for everything to come back to normal as a sense and like restructuring everything and having everything the way it was. Yeah, but having oil go up, a market could go up overnight. It doesn't take 3 to 5 years. Markets could change in a heartbeat.
Yes, but he means like jobs, like solid, steady jobs.
Yeah. I think there's going to be a shortage of jobs. Like come next summer in Alberta, they're going to be begging people to move there.
That would be great. That means hopefully I'm driving by then because my course starts in April. It's a 2-month course. Mm-hmm. I'm really, really encouraged with truck driving. It seems like we're missing a lot of overland truck driving. I read an article saying that we're what's it called demand. We're in a shortage of overland truck drivers. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I don't mind living in my truck. Like right now, I'm looking at my stupid apartment. I'm like, oh God, just get me some money.
I hear you. Yeah, I hear you.
I'll live in my truck. I'll go to an oil field camp if I have to deliver oil. That would be great because that's more money.
Yeah,
But
that's about
yeah.
$110,000 a year.
And I would totally do it. And they have the whole diversity thing where I guess they want women there. I don't even know, but I'm going to use whatever I can to my advantage.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah, but well, guess what? My course for truck driving, if you were for a guy to pay for it, you would pay about $5,000 for the course.
Right.
And I'm getting double the hours of training for free.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah, but this training center, they've been around since like the early like 97, and they've only graduated 1,500 women. And I was asking why, if you're giving free truck driving courses and this and that, and free apprenticeships, and they're like, well, you know, most of us women, we would prefer our men to go to work.
Okay.
So so I can't knock that, because you know, if you have a man who's making six figures, you're not really gonna push yourself to go make six figures when you can just clean the house.
That's right.
So she's like, no, will you take advantage of this and just be happy that we're offering it? I'm like, why wouldn't more women want to get their truck driving license, their trade skills? They're offering a lot for free, and not a lot of women want to even apply. It's called Women Building Futures. They have that in BC as well. I don't know what it's called, but I had a friend go through it as well. It's completely free. It's really good to try out.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I'll leave some information on the on our comment section for that, for women that want to get into truck driving. Anyways, I want to thank you for being on the show. We've been talking for 50 minutes, 50.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I know. We can talk forever.
Yeah, it's a pleasure to have you on the show. Thanks for giving us an update on the middle class in Alberta. I really appreciate it. And
overextended.
We'll keep you on the pulse, okay?
Okay, cool. Have a good night.
You too. Good night.
Bye.
Bye. And guys, that's working on it, and she's working on it. She's working towards a progressive future, working hard, and asking me business questions about things. And yeah, she's good. I like her. So guys, remember, keep it PG. We got a lot of young people on the show, watching the show, so we want to keep it as PG as possible, guys. Yes, they hear swear words. Yes, no one's immune to swear words. It happens. You know what I'm saying? Someone's asking me about my prediction of Bitcoin and cryptocurrency. I don't know what to tell you guys about a prediction. I wish I could tell you, but I don't want to say something I don't know. I just believe that cryptocurrency is in its very early infant stages. That's all I believe. I believe it will take over. I believe cryptocurrency will be the way of the future. I believe right now it's still in the pioneer stages. I don't know. I think we're too young right now. I think we're in a young generation. Our generation's, like the world generation's too young for cryptocurrency. %80 crash in January 2018. Oh yeah, housing is going to crash. Interest rates are going to go up. Gold's going to go down. And you're going to have oil rally. I'm so sure of oil. I'm putting money in oil right now, guys. Not right now, but I'm. Okay, here we go. Who we got here on Skype? Who can we ask about their areas? Your area of living. What is happening to your middle class? Guys, welcome to my Houdini edition. Houdini was an escape artist. He used to disappear before people's eyes, and no one knows where Houdini went. And what is happening to our middle class? Is our middle class pulling a Houdini and disappearing before our eyes? Is it smoke and mirrors? Is it a trick? Is our middle class really dying? Is it dying? I believe it's dying because I see more people struggling. All right, let's find some people here on Skype. Who can we call? Oh, Walking Journey calls. I'm not sure who this is. Here, let's see if we can call this person. It's S. Let's see if they pick up. Well, nobody home at that number. Guys, Ben Ibenyuku, where is he? What's his name on Skype? I want to call Buddy up in Japan and see what he's going up to, what he's been up to. He said he was setting up. He's probably super busy, but it is Sunday there. I don't see him on Skype. Message me on Skype, buddy. Ibenyuku in Japan. Can you message me on Skype so I know you are around? Okay, who do we know? Who can we call here? Who can I call? Guys, message me if you're watching the show right now. Oh, here we go. I think this is him. Oh, there he is. I think this is him. Yes, there it is. It just, his name is different on Skype than it is his real name. So let's call Japan. Let's find out what's happening in the middle class in Japan. Yo.
Hello, Domino's Pizza.
Yo, what's up, buddy? How you doing? Are you there?
Hello?
Yeah, I'm right here. I'm right here, buddy. Can you hear me? Oh, no.
I can double hear you right now.
Oh, you gotta lower your volume.
Okay, just a second here. Well, I'm in headphones here, so.
Yeah, because you're hearing it double through the headphones. Very dangerous. Are you there?
I'm here.
Okay. What's going on with the deflationary period? Someone keeps asking about Japan's deflation period. What is happening? First of all, good morning. Is it morning there?
3:24 p.m.
Oh, Sunday. Okay.
Afternoon. Sunday.
Okay. Right. Good afternoon.
We're ahead of you.
Okay. Good afternoon. And what is happening with the middle class in Japan before we discuss anything else? What is the middle class there? Does it consist of what these figures were saying? 66% of the country or 70% of the country is considered middle class. Tell us. Go ahead.
Well, I don't know about these random numbers that they produce. Anything, you can type any number you want in there.
Mm-hmm.
But what I see on a regular basis is I just see people living their lives. I don't see a lot of poor areas. Just as running a school myself, I have a bunch of students. They study extra, a lot of like soccer, swimming, English, all these stuff on the side. And this is what the middle class does here. Where that kind of stuff would be more for the higher class in other countries, for the most part.
Mm-hmm.
That's just my experience. I mean, I don't like, what's a middle class considered to you in your eyes?
Me? I'm older, right?
Yes.
Someone my age would be like, they basically have their home paid off and their, have their home paid off and just kind of easing back on the workload a bit, because when you hit 40, things start to change, right?
Okay.
And then the other girl that was on saying 15-year mortgage and 6 months of savings, which is a good one.
Okay, I mean, like, people range here in their mortgage. I mean, you could buy a new house, like I said before, for $300,000 to $400,000. That's brand new. You don't have to do that. You can go for a condo, which
Mm-hmm.
could be the same price or lower. You can buy something used.
Mm-hmm.
You can buy whatever matches the needs of your family. But there's no $1 million mortgages. There's just no point to that.
Right.
And they won't even get approved for that anyways.
Yeah.
So
they have a hedge, or they have some sort of a cap protecting people from bad finance deals, basically.
Yeah, I also call it logic, though.
Yeah.
Most families won't do
course.
that. And in Japan, a lot of the guys go to work, and the women manage the finances of the house.
Okay.
It's not, their men aren't in control of the money usually. They hand over their check to the wives in most cases.
Oh,
and
that's...
a lot of
okay.
Yeah, it's very helpful, and so they're in charge of everything. They decide if they want to come to my school or not. It's never usually the father. Sometimes, case by case, but the women are pretty strong here in that sense. Yeah, okay, go on. You can ask me a question.
So middle class. So poverty. I don't hear too much about poverty in Japan. Do you see a lot of poverty areas where people are panhandling, begging? Is it full? Like,
there's no panhandling. That's non-existent here.
That's what I heard.
There's like in Tokyo, you find homeless people living in boxes and stuff like that, and some of them actually have money. They just get tired of the life and they just want to live that way.
Mm-hmm.
And I've been here 18 years, and I've never asked for anything. I've offered somebody a king of juice, and I don't want the rest of it. I give it to a homeless guy. He's like, thanks.
Mm-hmm.
But they never bother you for anything. You never get approached here. You don't get approached for homeless people. You don't get approached for drugs, anything like that. People don't bother you.
How come in Vancouver I walk 2 blocks, I get like 45 people approach me?
Because they've been inbred that it's okay to be like that. It's everybody's different how they grow up. They think it's okay to do that stuff over there, and I don't like that.
You know what?
Because you feel guilty saying no to begin with.
Yeah. You know what the favorite line, the line that people use a lot now, when they approach you now, is, I am not a bum.
Oh, great.
That's the first line.
Had some hard times.
That's the number 1 line I get now. When I'm in downtown Vancouver, I have people come up to me and say, I am not a bum. And I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah.
So, okay.
I just tell them, can you break 100?
Oh, man, you got to be careful, man. Got to be careful.
You have change for 100. That's what always gets them. They get angry about that. What are you talking about, man?
Yeah.
Well, what are you supposed to do, man? You get tired of it. When I was younger, I used to give them money too.
Yeah.
And then you get the same guy coming the next day with the same story.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, no, not anymore. I lost it.
So no poverty, no panhandling in Japan. That's amazing. And I believe you. I believe you because I've heard this from 20 other people.
And if you go into the outskirts, like other than Tokyo, like other than the big cities,
mm-hmm.
you don't see people being treated in the areas. Like the big cities and stuff like that.
Hold on, you're breaking up here a bit. Hold on. Don't be sorry. It's just I have very poor network connection because I'm 3 feet away from my Wi-Fi box. I don't know why I have poor network connection being right beside the damn box, but it happens. I guess. It's the interference.
Okay.
Interference in my brain is what it is. So, middle class. So, yeah. So it's not disappearing in Japan, but what about the decline in population? That someone mentioned that in the comments.
Yeah, but here,
hold on.
We were about today. Populations could go
hold on.
Down to 0 tomorrow.
Hold on. I'm getting a really poor connection signal. It's my end. I don't know why, but I don't know why it's saying poor connection signal. I don't know why. It could be the storms out east that are hitting the coasts, and the hurricanes and stuff are affecting our web. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Can you fix it?
Yeah, you're breaking up pretty bad. All right.
I'm trying to call me again.
Yeah, call me back. You call me back and see if it's better, okay? Okay. So he's going to call me back. I want to ask him the declining population in Japan. Okay, that didn't work. Are you there?
Hello, Vancouver Police Department.
There you are. Okay, I could hear you perfectly now.
You can hear me now?
Yeah, declining population. What's going on?
Like I said, I don't think the population is going to be 0 tomorrow, so I don't really think there's anything to worry about. People mad. I look at the size of Canada, how big it is, and how small your population is, and how small Japan is, and how big their population is, so it's a non-issue to even worry about. Who cares, I'll be dead by that time. So...
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
And also things change. Things change day by day. It was going up for a while. Now it's going down. Mm-hmm. Who cares?
Yeah, no, I hear you.
We got to worry about the next 10, 20 years anyway, so...
Yeah.
If you're not getting by today, who really cares?
I got Waddy Watch here in the comments. He says, is he in Japan too?
I don't think he is.
Okay,
Hong Kong? Or is that the other guy?
Waddy Watch? No, the other guy's from Hong Kong, yeah. But that's Mr. E, I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what were they asking?
Because he was a couple of people were talking because he mentioned earlier that people are still living in Fukushima and living by the water.
Well, I don't know how small the radius is getting smaller of that you can't go back to, but some people did go back to their homes or what's left of them up in that area. But I haven't been paying too much attention. I just you get tired of listening to the same BS news trying to promote what they want you to think.
Yes.
You know, like, and I get family members asking me, "Are you okay? Are you okay?" Every earthquake, every tsunami, or whatever, and I have nothing's happened to me yet. It's like, my third arm is completely gone now, so I'm okay.
Mm-hmm.
You get tired of it.
Okay.
The news creates all these things, and you never know what's real anymore.
Yes.
All I know is that I'm still here and I'm still alive and no problems.
Yeah, I
So
know.
that's all I can tell you.
That's good. Well, you're our eyes and ears in Japan, right?
Yep.
So you could come on the show and tell us what's happening there when there's ever, God forbid, anything happens. You could tell us what's going on. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well, that happens usually to one area, so obviously it affects them a lot more than it does my area.
Mm-hmm.
The entire pass going down. We had a
You're breaking up again. We're losing you. I don't know if the connection, I don't know what the heck is happening. I don't know if it's the internet or the weather, the hurricane out east. Because I'm seeing we don't have anyone on the out east. Can you hear me? They can't hear me. Yeah, so we're getting really bad connection here. I'm not sure if it's the hurricanes that are doing this. The bad weather out east. Yeah, I'm getting really bad. Phone keeps cutting out. I don't know why. Okay, you there?
Hi there.
Yeah, sorry about that. Yeah, the phone. We're getting really bad connection. Anyways, okay. So what we'll do is we'll have you on the show again another time, maybe when the internet is working a bit better, and we'll go over. We'll go over other stuff. Whatever my topic is of the time, we'll find out how it's affecting you in Japan.
We're here.
You there?
I believe it was. Yeah.
Hello? Okay, so we're getting really bad connection there. So, yeah, we'll leave that. We'll call him another time too. So he gave us a little bit of insight on what's happening in Japan. So he's typing, I can hear. Yeah, I can't hear you. So it's got to be my connection on my end. So we'll probably scrap the Skype this tonight when we won't be using any Skype because it's just not working right. We can't even talk. I can't even talk to someone in Alberta. That's like 8 hours drive for me. So yeah, we need more people. I want more people to join in. Mike in the Night, we open mic discussion. Talk your mind, speak your mind. What's happening in your neck of the woods? We got people from all over the world on the show, which is really good. The show's getting incredible replayability. A lot of Mike in the Night shows are starting to get over 1,000 to 1,500 to 2,000 views in some of my older shows. So it's really good. You know what I'm saying? So, Marius was in my shop today. Nice to see you today, Mike. Yes, was in my shop today picking up a board game. Long-time customer. Since I pretty much opened my shop. Appreciate it very much. And Mr. E in the comments saying, no shortage of work, food, and manufacturing. Gift prices, managed local produce. And then Anon saying you're running 2 streams at a time. No, I'm actually on my phone with Skype, so it's separate from this whole network that I'm running, and it's running off Wi-Fi. My computer is hardwired Ethernet, so Anon, message me on Skype. Are you there, buddy? Or are you working? Are you working? Let me know if you're working, buddy. Let me know if you're working, buddy. If you could call me, let me know what's happening to the middle class in. Let me know what's happening in the middle class in your area, in your neck of the woods. So let's move on. Juggling jobs. New York Times. Americans want to believe jobs are the solution to poverty. They're not. U.S. unemployment is down and jobs are going unfilled. But for people without much education, the real question is, do those jobs pay enough to live on? Again, they're using whatchamacallit, education as the reason why you're not making enough money. They're still pushing the education agenda. Still in the U.S. And then And what do you watch is saying, "Can call me Mike, you know." I don't know the tags. I don't know who these tags are. Some of the tags I see. I don't know these tags. Like, some of these tags, like, there's people that I know personally, and I don't know what these tags are. Because a lot of people, it's not like Facebook where you use your real name and your photo. So it's avatars and tags, right? So it's really hard for me to forecast who is calling from where. So guys, add me to Skype. Okay, my Skype is Mike Martins 1980. Mike, MikeMartins 1980. I'm getting hot with this Adidas jacket on. I wanted to look cool tonight with this Adidas jacket. Oh man. Oh, it's getting pretty hot in here. Mike in the Night, guys. Tonight, streaming, broadcasting from Merritt, British Columbia. Okay, so somebody messaged me on Skype, so I know you are ready to go. If anybody wants to weigh in on this conversation and speak their minds of middle class, what is happening to the middle class in your neck of the woods? I'd like to know. So here they are again. They bring up some story about some guy that ended up getting a degree somewhere, and then now he's making an extra $10 an hour. Here we go. We got somebody. It's my man Evan. Why does it shut off? Hello? Evan.
That's me.
Okay, how's it going, buddy?
Well, at the moment we're getting absolutely obliterated by the biggest typhoon in history.
Oh, right now at the moment? Are you serious?
Oh, listen to the wind.
Oh, wow. Where are you?
I'm in a tower on the mountain somewhere in Hong Kong.
Oh, wow, you're in Hong Kong. Right on. Right on.
The Pearl of the Orient.
You know what's very interesting is that when I look at my analytics from YouTube, and I go into my English, my English channel on YouTube, and I notice I get viewers from Hong Kong, but mainland China, it gets 0 minutes viewed, but Hong Kong gets like...
Why? Because mainland China totally blocks YouTube.
Oh, that's why I get 0 views in China, but then in Hong Kong I get like 70,000 minutes per month.
Well, if there are people in Hong Kong or China looking at the videos, I'll have to VPN network to see you.
Oh my god, you're also breaking up. Oh my god. This has never happened on Skype before. Skype has worked clean as a whistle usually. I'm not sure if it's the bad weather in your area. It's probably the typhoon in your area, you know, so it's probably meddling with the Here, call me back in 1 minute. Let me close all my applications and see if that's holding down my internet, okay? Call me back in a minute. All right, let me see what I have running in the background. I got nothing in the background. Wow. Maybe restarting my phone. I'm not too sure, guys. I don't know why Skype's on the fritz today. I don't know why Skype doesn't want to work. Let me see if I call him back, if that makes a difference. So we're in Hong Kong.
Hello.
Okay, let's see if I call you, if that makes a difference. So, can I ask one question, Evan? How the hell can you afford? How can you afford to live in Hong Kong?
Well, okay, let me put it this way. Rent would be about 30% of the average person's income if they're earning 20-odd thousand Hong Kong dollars a month. The rent's pretty high.
And what would that be converted into American dollars?
Let's see, it's 7.7 the rate. How would you put? How about Canadian dollars? About 4,000 a month.
Oh!
Most people can earn.
Holy smokes! $4,000 net.
Net, in your hand. You don't get taxed here.
Oh, that's okay. So what is happening there in the housing market? If you don't mind giving us an insight, what's happening? Are prices cooling?
Okay, well, since 1997, which was when the British handover back to China happened. They had a massive crash, of course, and that destroyed the stock market and all the housing prices went down. And they've been raising ever since exponentially. I'd say the average apartment for 3 people, let's say a 3-person apartment, not counting square footage, would be about $500,000 US or higher.
Wow.
That's for a 300 square foot shoebox.
So a closet.
You can make do. It's like Japan. I mean, Japan has cozier sort of houses, but you can fit everything in there. You got to be creative with your space.
That's right. You got to. But in those kind of countries, I think you're outdoors more than you are indoors, so you don't have the really. Yeah.
Well, you got social services. You've got transport, all your entertainment's outside. You've got parks, tennis courts.
Yeah, I'm getting massive internet. Even the connection in my house is going down. I'm not sure if it's the global web is having problems connecting, or I don't know what's happening. But
I can hear you clear as a bell.
Oh, I can hear you. My computer stream went down. The stream on the computer, not you. The stream went down. Yeah. So it's if you don't take from one, you lose from.
I might be watching you, Mike.
So okay. Tell us. So price of middle class. Is there any? Do middle class exist in Hong Kong, or is it just rich people?
Okay. It depends how. It's like what the man in Japan was saying. It depends how you define middle class. You can live in a house. You can get by. You can go on holidays twice a year. I would call that middle class. People here go on holiday about twice a year. There are the dirt poor. You do get the people who live in, as you've seen in the news articles, little cages and things like that. They dramatise that a lot. Yeah. I've lived in a little cage before. It was 3 meters by 3 meters by 3 meters, and I lived in that with my wife, and we still fit everything. So you just got to be creative about things. But in terms of cost of living, food's cheap, transport's top notch, gets you everywhere in a short amount of time. If you can't take a train, take a tram. If you can't take a tram, take a bus. If you can't take a bus, take a taxi. And if you're really stuck, you could probably just walk. So transport's fantastic. You can get anywhere you want to go. Everything's cheap. The only thing that's expensive is the rent.
Yeah, the actual shelter.
To earning.
Shelter.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, no, they're quite nice, massive tower blocks, 60-story buildings full of people, that kind of thing.
And were you living in Hong Kong when they handed over, when the handover happened?
No, I arrived, whenever I got married was when I arrived. You're supposed to remember those sort of things, but my wife's not in the room, so it's okay. Been married, I don't know, 12 years, 2006 anyway. That's roughly when I showed up, 2004, 2006, that general area. And it's a much better place than living in Australia. Watch all the Australians get very angry in the comment section.
Yeah, a lot of Australians have been bought out of the market. A lot of Australians are waiting on the sidelines. You got to remember that Australia's been in a bull run in their housing market since pretty much 1975.
No, they haven't stopped. But I was in that mining town, I think I told you, Mike, where they had $2 million tin shacks, and now they're worth 100,000 because the mining construction. So that's a microcosm of what's going to happen in places like Sydney or Brisbane or Melbourne. He did teach you the correct pronunciation, that fellow, so that's something.
Yeah, it's Melbourne.
Melbourne, that's right. For some reason, a lot of names make no sense.
Yes. There's the pronunciation, and you know that, I don't know if you know this, but English is actually my third language. I speak Portuguese first, and then Spanish a close second, and then English third.
I think you did perfectly fine.
Yeah.
In terms of your English literature and your oration, everyone can understand you, I hope.
Yeah, I hope so.
If I can, everyone can.
So, if you don't mind me asking, if you don't have to answer if you don't want, what do you do for work? Like, what do you do in Hong Kong? I'm just wondering, just like what kind of job you know.
Oh, well, what I do, I am a educator. It's a very broad term, not unlike the man from Japan. You know, I've run learning centers and businesses, and I go door to door, house to house, school to school, teaching people English and other things, of course, but predominantly English is high demand here. I give you an rough hourly wage if you're interested.
Yeah.
It can be anywhere, like the minimum would be about 60 Canadian dollars per hour, minimum, and that can go up as high as you like. And I'm cheaper than everybody else because I think it's ludicrous how much some parents pay. So it's quite a lot of money. If you add all that up, you can work 20 hours a week, and that's your month done if you are creative about it.
Hey, can I ask you? Do you see a lot of people massively in debt there, or is it old money, or is it newfound money?
There's two types of money. A lot of people, they live the credit card lifestyle, and then they realize the cost of living the credit card lifestyle. But you can't get mortgages or loans. You know, that kind of credit is very hard to come by. You really have to twist the arm of the bank to get a mortgage. But credit cards are easy to come by. I can get a credit card. I can walk down to the supermarket and they'll have a promoter there giving out basically free credit cards. They're heavily encouraging that, but you've got other forms of payment. You've got the octopus card, which is a cash card. You put your cash in there. But obviously get it refunded, unlike the Oyster card in England. And then you've got Alipay, the whole system, and you've got all sorts of other payment plans. There's about 20 different ways you can pay for things. But a lot of people are using credit cards.
Wow.
I
Okay.
wouldn't say that.
I would have thought that Hong Kong would have been a lot of old money and a lot of newfound money, like new riches and stuff. I wouldn't imagine that a lot of people would be like on credit cards and stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Well, okay, but they use their credit card for payment, but they've got the money to pay the credit card. Does that make sense? You know, responsible use of a credit card
Okay.
is usually how it is.
Responsible. I got it. Okay, I get it now. Okay. Unlike some, like my neighbor, for example, or guy 3 doors down, is buying his groceries on his Visa. Because
Well, you do that here because you've got the money to pay it back. If that makes sense. That makes a lot more sense. You know what other people are doing. No, my older brother, he's got a mortgage for a $500,000 house in Australia, and he bought with zero money a $70,000 brand new SUV.
Oh God.
He's in a fantastic position, I can tell you right now.
Wow, that's a really bad position to be in right now. I mean,
that's at the worst possible time as well.
it's a nightmare.
Well, who pays $7,000 for a brand new car? He's a bit of an idiot if I were to be polite when talking.
Yeah, because you're paying a lot of juice on that, right? That's what, 5-6%, and to carry that 70 large, you
the car it's 10% in 7 years doubled, and 7% is 10 years doubled. That's a good way to remember compound interest.
That's correct.
You know?
I mentioned that in the drive. I don't know if you remember when I was driving to get coffee and I made a video in my van and I was saying that a lot of people forget that the 7% rule.
Yeah, it's a good rule.
Yeah, 7% your money doubles, and then if you had 20,000-30,000 at a young age, and then when you're 30 it doubles, and then when you're 40 it triples, and then compound interest on interest. It's a good way, and that's why people aren't keeping money in banks anymore, because they're not paying anything.
Well, even European banks, you have to pay them to keep your money in the bank. Negative interest, fantastic idea.
Yeah, and what do they call it? Implosions or
There are all sorts of problems in Europe. You remember Cyprus, don't you? The bail-ins.
Yes.
That's going to be Australia.
Yeah, well,
That was the test for bail-ins, wasn't it?
yes, they had a runoff on their reserves, and everybody was trying to withdraw their money, so they put a cap of $20 US per day.
That's right.
Yeah.
Australian banks have quite a cap on withdrawals sometimes.
Yeah.
I remember Westpac. Don't get me started on Westpac. They are hopeless. But I can tell you some horror stories about Westpac. But if you're international, the maximum you can take out is 1,000. Used to be 10, now it's 1,000. You know, and each time it's a 3% fee, plus they're generous, you know, $5 fees.
Wait,
about
you gotta
$40
pay.
and
Okay, take one step back because I never heard this before. Okay, just one step back.
Oh,
You gotta pay 3% juice to take out your own money.
this is foreign ATM. So
Oh,
if
okay.
you use three, and a lot of them do a lower percentage, but most back 3%.
Well, that's that's disgusting, dude.
Okay, the other thing though, it's 3%. This is I know savings recently stuff was dropping like a rock. I take it out now. Okay, I made money in theory, right? If I send it back, I mean you can't play the currency game. But you can take it like
Hold on. You're breaking up. Poor network. Poor network. That's on my end. I don't know why it's doing this. I don't know why. I mean,
Tell you why, Mike, because you're using Skype, right?
Yeah.
Skype will prioritize
I've-
use.
I've-
I continued you.
I've never had a problem with Skype ever until today. I could talk for hours on this damn thing, and I get people from all over the world. And
That's that been playing videos like.
it could, like I said, it could be the damn weather, the typhoon you're in the middle of right now.
I mean, maybe the connection works, and the wind set the world. So even now, when my whole building's shaking, it's
Okay, hold on.
That's it. Yeah.
Can you call me back in 10 seconds?
Yeah, we'll do 30 seconds just so you
Okay.
make sure you're
Okay.
extra.
Okay.
Okay. All right.
All right.
Good.
So he's in the middle of a typhoon right now in Hong Kong. So we're getting a pretty bad connection there, and yes, you could hear the wind in the background there. So he is in the middle of a typhoon in Hong Kong. Let's check out what's going on there for weather-wise. He's giving us some good insight on what's happening in Hong Kong, in their housing market, and what's happening. I want to ask him about poverty in Hong Kong. Let's see if there's a typhoon in Hong Kong. Yeah, there is. Holy crap. Okay.
All right.
Okay, I got the typhoon open here on live images. That's actually
has rolled into Hong Kong
Looks
and
good,
will
doesn't
serve.
it?
yeah, it looks pretty intense here, to be honest with you. Holy smokes.
Well, windows are getting smashed. Any crane, I hope, is not swinging around too much. They usually go like a wrecking ball in a typhoon. This is the biggest typhoon in a long time. I was out in the last biggest one, and I lost a pair of glasses because I did the silly thing of looking left, looking right, and looking left again when crossing the street, and whew, they were gone.
Oh
That
man.
was fun.
Yeah, so I'm looking at Hong Kong harbor here in Hong Kong, and it looks pretty bad, man.
Yeah, it happens all the time. Well,
Yeah.
not all the time. This is typhoon season. This is the end of typhoon season. Not too bad. Wouldn't worry. There are worse things that could happen.
Mm-hmm. Poverty. What's up with poverty in Hong Kong?
Poverty, all right. Well, the most, okay, there are, you could almost call it a caste system. It's not really. But we've got all these Syrian refugees, Indians showing up, political refugees, and they would be the poor. And the Vietnamese, of course.
Mm-hmm.
They're the poor. They show up and say, oh, I have money, you've got to keep me safe. And they're given free everything, which really upsets the Hong Kong people because they're paying out the nose for rent, and these people are getting rent-free accommodation, everything under the UN Charter, you know,
Can
all that free stuff,
let me
and they're behaving badly.
let me interject one little bit because I want to make I want to make it clear what you told me. You said Syrian refugees?
Yes, they somehow have the wherewithal to fly all the way here. You know, if you look at the Geneva Convention on Refugees, you're supposed to go to the nearest country. And last time I checked, Syria is not across the water from Hong Kong, yet they're showing up. Same with the Indians. They show up, and then when we try and deport them, they say, "Oh, I have no money." And now the policy is we deport you anyway.
Well, so you have Syrian refugees in Hong Kong. I would have never imagined that.
There's quite a contingent of them. They stick them all out in the new territories, which is the northwest mostly. You see them, and they're always, because the hypocrites they are, they're always drunk. And I don't know if you know, I imagine you do, in Islam you're not allowed to drink.
Yes.
They're always drunk.
Yes.
And they're always, attacking, accosting people. Not violently, but you know what people do when they're drunk. They see a pretty lady and they go, "Ooh, pretty lady, I'm going to woo her with my charm."
Oh.
And they vomit everywhere or stink up the place like that.
Oh.
Fantastic. But they are the poor.
Wow, I'm watching some
And
footage.
they're us, workers' rights.
I'm watching some serious footage here in your area. Man, holy crap.
That's great. Best show I've seen in a while.
Wow.
Well, the thing is, a lot of people live on boats, so they're all in our food shelters with all their boats on board somewhere safe. But, I mean, a lot of them just get wrecked because they're rust buckets anyway. And Chinese have a habit, I don't know if you know, Chinese culture will buy new things they won't use an old thing. It's more academic in China, you know.
Hold on, you are breaking up again, my friend. You are breaking up again. It is a nightmare. I really want this call transmission to work, but it's just so bad. I could see why it's not working properly because I believe that the weather, this bad weather, is having a huge impact on our call. 100%. Well,
how about we schedule it for another turn, Mike?
For sure, we're not done. We have a lot to talk about because we want to get your insight on a lot of things on what's happening and kind of an understanding of what's happening in Hong Kong. Because still, to me, China is still a country that's shrouded in mystery. You know what I'm saying?
To an extent, if you never came here, you never know.
Yeah.
If that makes sense. It's kind of like Japan. People have perceptions of Japan not even close to the reality. Everyone's assumed, everyone's that kind of thing. People think for some reason. Might be shows. Chinese people only eat rice and noodles. That part's true. But there's a lot of Western restaurants.
Okay. Well,
the connection's no good. Reschedule perhaps.
Yeah, well, definitely. You just whenever you see me live or something, you could just call in. It's not a problem. You call whenever you see me live on Mike in the Night or Trends in the Housing Market.
All right. Well,
yeah, especially if you see me having a hard time finding someone to get on the show, just call in.
All right. That sounds wonderful, Mike. But you're doing a fantastic job today, despite the technical difficulties.
Yes, despite the technical difficulties, I am trying my best. And it means a lot to me that you call in like that and give us an insight because I don't believe any of this media news that we're seeing. You know, it's.
I never believe lies, Mike. That's for sure.
Yeah.
You got to be your own person. Think for yourself.
That's right. Be your own person. Think for yourself. Okay. Well, have fun in the wind and rain. Hopefully, it'll pass by real quick. And
flying, Mike, one or the other.
Okay. Have yourself a good morning or good afternoon, and we'll talk very soon, Evan.
A pleasure.
Okay, thank you, sir. Bye.
Yeah.
So, guys, that was Evan from who's living in Hong Kong right now, and yeah, I can't believe the typhoon's hitting right now. This was posted 32 minutes ago. So, yeah, it's pretty bad. So, he's in there. He'll weather the storm. He'll be all right. It's just 160 mile per hour winds in Hong Kong. Authorities said the city swayed, trees were downed, windows shattered, and hundreds of flights were canceled. Wow, look at that. There's the course of it right there. There's the course of it. Tracking the course. Yeah, there it is there. Well, it's in Macau. It's Portuguese China. Yeah, but you know what, guys? To be really frank with you guys, I I've been in a lot of these storms myself. When I was in Hurricane Wilma, I was in Hurricane Katrina. In Broward County, I was in Hurricane. I was in a whole bunch of hurricanes myself. Someone saying that Macau closed the casinos yesterday. Yeah, that's a big deal if they do that, because they know something's coming. Guys, I'm really sorry about the technical transmission problems I'm having tonight in tonight's show. I'm really sorry, guys. I don't know what to tell you guys. My stream has gone down twice already. I don't know if my internet is not good or I'm paying. I mean, I got a good connection. I don't have any problems, but I keep losing connection on my phone Wi-Fi. Oh, God. So, all right, let's move on. What do you guys want from me? What do these guys want? Yeah, well, goodbye. All right. Rural students go to school without teachers. Guys, we're losing a lot of teachers right now. Children across Manitoba are headed back to school, but many of their classrooms lack certified teachers. Remote and rural communities, many of the First Nations have several job vacancies still posted at the start of the school year, leaving educational assistants to fill the void. And guys, you know what? I'm going to be really straight up frank with you guys. A lot of people are moving stateside to the United States of America, you know, and I'm thinking that's what's happening. And I believe it's the Canadian brain drain. And a lot of teachers are working poor now. They're not middle class anymore. Okay. Someone's asking if it's a TELUS connection. No, I'm with Rogers. I don't deal with TELUS. Some classrooms will be without teachers when BC students head back to class. This is a new article posted. So now they're going to shuffle students around. Lack of teachers. Housing experts and community member discuss disappearing middle class. This is in Arlington County. Defines middle income households between 65 to 140,000. Arlington, Virginia. Arlington County defines middle class income between 65,000 and 140,000. A new report says Arlington is losing its middle class as affordable housing disappears. Another housing crisis happening right now. Oh, I like this one. Look at that photo. Look at that photo. Who's got photo album with those kind of photos? The end of middle class. Why prosperity is failing in America. Middle class doesn't mean what it used to. Owning a home and 2 cars and having a summer vacation to look forward to is a dream. That's no longer possible for a growing percentage of American families. So what's changed? That safe and stable class has become shaky and unions collapsed. The gig economy surged and wealth concentrated into the hands on top of the 1%. The knock-on effects of which include sky-high housing prices, people working second jobs, and cultural shift marked by 1% TV shows and presidents. Alyssa Quart, executive editor of the Economic Hardship Reporting Project, explains how the American dream became a dystopia and why it's hard for middle-class Americans to get by. Alyssa Quart is the author. Remember this, people? All right, we got to get the audio down here. It's going to get flagged. And so here goes. What happened to American middle class? Okay, she's talking here.
It was 40-hour work weeks, pensions, people worked in, who were teachers, professors, lawyers even. And now it's a shakier category, and that's why I called it the middle precariat, as in precarious. Now to be middle class, you might not be able to have a summer holiday. You might not be able to own your home. You certainly wouldn't have 2 cars. And what interests me is also we had this idea of the middle class as this solid thing, and now it's a shaky thing. We also had this idea in the middle of the 20th century of it as a humdrum, boring thing that we wanted to escape, kind of like Revolutionary Road, Richard Yates. And now it's like everyone just wants to get into it, into the dream, the American dream of the middle class that's now so unstable, right? So one of the things that happened was unions weakened. It used to be that 30% of employees were in unions in the 60s, and now it's 7% in the private sector. And that's a pretty huge drop-off. And at the same time, you're seeing a lot of workforce become gigified or turn into freelance, contingent, et cetera, not stable, not with healthcare, not with the promise of security and long-term employment. There's other reasons why the middle class has been under siege. One is the concentration of wealth. You see the rise of the 1%, the rise of the wealthiest. Since 1997, the income of the top 1% has grown 20 times the rest of us. They're an ownership class, so they tend to own many of the corporations that are, say, creating the Uber economy, are hiring people to drive part-time, or the companies which employ people at hours, which means which mean that they can't take care of their children, hours in the middle of the night or odd hours in the early morning. And so I write about that in my book. So that kind of wealth concentration, it also empowers people to have multiple addresses and to not really invest in their neighborhoods. The fact that they're able to pay so much more than the rest of us for houses and apartments raises the rents and the cost of home ownership astronomically in fashionable cities. Another one was 1% TV, to describe people who, including myself, who watch shows like Billions or Downton Abbey or even Mad Men that sort of extol the wealthiest, kind of ethically challenged wealthy people. So there's something about 1% television that I find pretty harmful, in that we are asked to identify, and we do identify, with the very richest in this country rather than middle class people or struggling people. And that does show our ethical problems in a kind of Klieg lights, as it were. And I think one of the things that 1% television does is it makes a case for the deserving ultra-rich. Like, these are people who are brilliant or talented, like a show like Empire with a hip-hop mogul. They could have terrible, terrible values, but they work hard and they have some kind of genius, so they deserve to have this excess and this wealth and be drinking champagne out of flutes. A lot of reality television shows work on the same principle. Of course, what exactly they're doing that makes them deserving is always questionable, but the shows are making an argument that, yes, they are the deserving ultra-rich.
This is really good, guys. And we're in this delusionalized status with the television and all these people thinking that, not looking at the underlying things. And Anon had a question here, and it's a good one. He says, I'm concerned if the corrupt government will open the floodgates for even more immigrants. Guys, I was astonished to hear that there was Syrian immigrants in Hong Kong. Wow. I mean, like the gentleman I was speaking to, we're going to get him on the phone more times to give us insights on what's happening, was telling me that basically in the Geneva Convention, it's usually to the nearest country that's not a zone of pain. Because you got zones of pain. So, like, if you're, for example, like, in Iraq, and then you're bordered Afghanistan, that's another zone of pain. So you got to bypass the zone of pain to the next available, you know what I'm saying? So, just kind of putting that out there, you know what I'm saying? Wow. Census data released today show that continued gains for middle-class Americans and little evidence of rising income inequality. So, average medium household size is going down, medium household income is plateaued, and average household income is going up, but it went up because people are working more. Beware, these dying jobs are disappearing the quickest. So which dying... Okay, correctionals officer. Vanish by 2026. So guys, if you're looking to get into a job or something, Don't become a correctional officer at number 10. Number 9, legal secretaries. Stay away from that. Number 8, mail carriers will disappear by 2026. Bank tellers. Goodbye, bank tellers. 41,000 jobs will disappear 2026. Don't become a bank teller. Data entry personnel. That's going to be gone. Electronic assemblers. Don't do that. Don't get into that. Inspectors, testers, and weighers. Goodbye. Executive assistants. Yeah. Team assemblers. Oof, that's a big one. And administrative assistants. Yeah, who needs those anyway? So watch out for those jobs, guys. This is an article through MoneyWise, and it's showing what jobs are disappearing the quickest. So, guys, make sure you pick a good career so you could be in the middle class. The death of American middle class has brought department stores down with it. Oh, yeah. Well, if the middle class disappears, the spending power disappears. There's no more confidence in spending. People don't feel confident in spending money on stuff they shouldn't be buying in the first place, and that's what carries down a very big trickle-down effect. And this is what gets housing starts going out of control and people unaffordability. Then consumer spending drops, and then you start to see the work disappearing because they're not producing those blenders anymore for people to buy. So, you know what I'm saying? The middle is disappearing. Low and middle income consumers increasingly shop at discount and Dollarama stores, forcing retailers that once served these customers with Bon Ton and its subsidiary brands to close shop. So everyone's at the dollar store. You know, every dollar stores everywhere. Dollar Tree, Dollarama, Family Dollar. Okay, are you middle class? This is a calculatory by Pew Research Centers admits tells you. So there's a calculator here. Ooh, this is how much you need to earn to be part of the 1%. Let me get rid of this music before flags down my video for dangerous. So you'll need to bring in at least $480,000 a year. 1.5 million Americans, I didn't read that, and 1% covered nearly 40% of annual Uncle Sam's bill. Meanwhile, the minimum adjusted gross income is too fast. But if aiming to the 1% is inclusive enough for you, how about 0.0001%? Less than 1,500 Americans made that cut in 2015. Wow, that's nothing. And had the AGI of at least 59.4 million. Annual income. Wow. That's a lot. Whoa, this guy's drinking out of a blender. Are you middle class? This calculator could tell you. No, we read the other one. And Australian 6 social classes. Which one are 6? There's 6 in Australia. Let's see if this thing plays.
So, you may have heard that Labor want to target discretionary trusts. It's a kind of trust you can set up to minimise the tax you have to pay, but they're not for everyone. Since normal wage earners can't set one up, we're only talking about those who run a business or earn an asset income. Once a discretionary trust is formed, members can divvy up their income streams in order to pay less tax, a process called income splitting. Now this is the part that gets Bill Shorten's goat. He has said the lucky few riding the business end of the tax system are able to opt out of paying taxes. But is that the whole story? Not quite. Some small businesses opt to use a trust in order to protect personal assets should a business fail. Labor thinks these cases are in the minority.
I have no idea what that had to do with that. Unless that was a long, drawn-out, useless commercial. Alright. 6 social classes in Australia. Here they are. Period creates aging workers, new workers, established middle, emerging affluent, and established affluent. There we go. So new workers, So these are the 6 classes. So Australia has 6 classes. Wow. I was growing up. Growing up, it was poor. It was dirt poor, middle class, and then well off, then rich, then filthy elite rich. You know, but those are my 6 classes. But here it's paracreates. I don't even aging workers, new workers, established, middle, aging. But could these guys here support the aging workers? That's the question. Do they have a pension ahead of them? We got to get Mario DeCettis on the show next week. Find out what's going on with pensions. Who makes up the classes? Oh, wow. This is really, look at that. It's all broken down for you here. Let's move on. How wealthy are you compared to the other Australians? So this is a really good article here. If you're trying to describe the typical, it's better to take the median. In this example, an even number of people, it's 85,000 being mean to the middle numbers. The medium doesn't ignore Laura. It's much more representative of a group as a whole. So they're talking about the median income, okay? And they're breaking it down into weekly expenditures, because in these countries they pay their rent weekly, as opposed to in in Canada or in the United States it's monthly. Key Canadian household debt ratio creeps higher in second quarter to 169.1%. It's nuts. Everyone's throwing everything on cards. It's sad. And Americans have amassed a record $13.2 trillion in debt, but economists aren't that worried about it. $13.2 trillion in debt. U.S. household debt has yet another record high. In the first quarter of 2018, it reached $13.2 trillion, $63 billion increase from the previous quarter. Now, household debt is $500 billion higher than its previous peak in 2008, according to the Federal Reserve Bank of New York, which uses data from Equifax. Holy crap. Look at student loans. Holy smokes. So you got mortgages over here at the bottom, right? Then you got revolving debt, which are credit cards, lines of credit, crap, that revolving debt, which credit cards. And then you got auto loans right here. And then you got credit cards right here. And then student loans. Holy crap. And then others like loan sharks, mob bosses, like that kind of people. Betting debts, bookie debts. So here's the credit scores. If your credit score is in 760 range, 720 range, this is a really nice graph. By total credit score, this is a really well put together graph. It goes by year here. It tells you what your beacon score is, and it tells you what where you're at. So my credit score is 740, so I'd be right here in this little bracket here. This one shows share of new auto loans in the U.S. by credit card score. Wow. So there you go. Everyone's getting approved for auto loans. Don't you worry. Everybody's getting approved. Wow, I feel sorry for these people down here that got approved for auto loans, because now they're paying higher interest rates than the people up here. It pays to have good credit, people. U.S. home ownership by range. This is a great article. Look at this. Under 35 right here. And then everybody like 35 to 44 is right here. That's my bracket right there. And then 45 to 54 is up here. So that's not that bad. 80% of people from 55 to 64 own their own homes. It's slightly gone down in the last 3 years, but they still own their own homes. Wow, what a great article. Guys, this is called Americans Have Amassed a Record Debt of $13.2 trillion by Quartz. Check it out if you want to see something. It's a really well-written article. Household debt in UK worse than any time on record. British household finances among the most indebted in major Western countries, ONS says. Wow. British households spent around £900 more on average than they receive in the income during 2017. People are living off credits. The only way you can spend more than what you make is by borrowing, people. So, guys, I'm going to give you a little insight on what I think is going to happen. This is my prediction, guys. Okay, so nobody panic here, please. Don't have to believe what I say. So before I close out tonight's show, I want to thank everyone for being on the show. Unfortunately, we've been having really bad connection issues with everything. And a lot of the people we were talking to are in a typhoon right now, so hopefully that clears up in the next couple of days. And very little to no damage, I hope. Anyways, this is what I'm predicting, guys. Housing crash all around, which is happening, and this is the nail. This is going to be the straw that breaks the camel's back, or whatever you want to call it, or whatever flashy pronoun or whatever. Let me get to my point. First, housing crash all around. Interest rates keep creeping up, and I believe price of gold's going to go down, and I believe that oil is going to go crazy. I believe oil is going to go up. I believe with the amount of crap that's happening in Saudi Arabia with Iran and the sanctions on Iran, the problems in Yemen, the problems in the Middle East, it's just nonstop ongoing. I have a feeling that this will eventually start pushing up the price of oil. I believe in the next 6 months, oil might be $85 to $100 a barrel. I haven't forecasted oil in a long time or discussed about oil in a long time. Don't take my word on it. I am putting my money where my mouth is. I am going to put my money where my mouth is, and I am investing in some oil stock right now. I'm not allowed to tell you because I'm not a financial consultant. But that's what I believe. This is just my thought. This is what I believe is going to happen. And Leaf is saying, Mike, doesn't oil going up mean silver and gold goes up because of mining costs? No, guys. No, this is what housing crashing, interest rates going up. When interest rates go up, the price of gold goes down. And it's usually on par every time that happens. And I think something's going to happen with oil very soon. I believe something's going to happen with oil. Well, it's like the price of gas. Price of oil went down to $30 a barrel like a few years back, and the price of gas went through the roof because they're not exporting them they're not making money off the oil like they used to, revenues. So they got to get the consumer. Who pays? The working poor and the middle class. And that's what we've been talking about in tonight's show the whole time, is the disappearing of middle class, because they're flipping the bill for everybody else. And someone saying, John McAfee says Bitcoin will be 1 million in 2020. No, guys, like I said, Bitcoin is in a very infancy stage right now, guys. It won't be called Bitcoin. It could be something else, right? But it will dominate the planet. It will be the web. It will encirculate us. Just like I'm talking to people in Hong Kong, in Japan, in Texas, in Alberta, in snap of a heartbeat, all interconnected. Yes, Bitcoin will be the same thing. Cryptocurrency will be the same thing. It will. Believe me, it will. But I think we're in the pioneer stages of it still. It's going to need government regulation. Without government regulation, it won't fly. We need the government putting its fingers in everything. That's the problem. Yeah, FedCoin's the way to go. Yeah. No, I don't know. Someone said that in the I don't even know if that even exists, but FedCoin, Slavecoin, in the comments section. Anyways, guys, Mike in the night. I've been talking for 2.5 hours. It's time to go. Thanks for all the guests calling in. I really appreciate it. It really means a lot to me. And my Harry Houdini Master of Mystery Edition. Where is the middle class disappearing? Is it a vanishing trick? Is it smoke and mirrors? I look forward to reading your comments below in your neck of the woods. What is happening to your middle class? Is it really happening? Are we disappearing? Are we fizzling out like a firecracker in the night? Thanks for watching, guys. Don't forget the subscribe button, and don't forget to share my stuff and get it out there. I'm very amateur, but I try my best to create a conversation for everybody. Thank you so much.